Welcome to another episode of the Gentleman's Motor Racing Team. We are competing in motorsport as a fun experience, and we're kind of unique because most of our sponsorship comes through crowdfunding from lovely people like you, so thank you very much. Right, it's Wednesday, so it's time for our midweek update video. This one is from the archives. However, if you'd like to stay bang up to date and help support our little team, please consider becoming a YouTube member or a patron. So, run VT!
This clip is especially for you. Errol, run VT!
Hello? Yeah, hi. Follow the man down.
Yeah, we'll stay and hang around with us.
Welcome to another midweek update video. These videos are for teammates, patrons, sponsors and YouTube members. Your support, as always, is hugely appreciated. Thank you very much. Right, when am I recording this? Hey, bang on 8:30 on a Sunday evening. Yes, that gives me Sunday, Monday and Tuesday to edit this video so I can get it out to you on a Wednesday. Sorry, gonna sneeze. I hope I'm not coming down with a summer cold.
You're ill. I'm the one who's ill. Listen.
Right, first off, am I peaking? I know I'm peaking. Move my microphone down a bit, Kev. You know the old 1 2 1 2 test? No, I go rubber baby buggy bumpers. What film's that from? Right, a massive thank you to Simon Williams. Simon has decided to become a sponsor of our Brant's Rally Trip Meter. Sir, you're amazing. It does seriously make a huge difference to us being able to buy this bit of kit. So our sponsors so far: Fleet Mobile Auto Services, Peter Gennari, Tim Andrew, Calvin Wright, Robert Davies, Jack Newmeyer, Claymore Racing and of course Simon Williams. If you would like to become a sponsor of our Brant's Rally Trip Timer, there's still time and obviously funds needed to do that. I'll leave a link somewhere where you can get involved. Right, should we crack on with Dad's Binny Cooper S? Yep, I've connected a few more electrical connections. There are so many on these cars. I've also installed the intercooler. Talked about it last week. It's all mounted, it's got the rubber clamp, it's got the clamps on the rubber bits and everything like that. And I'm slowly connecting the rest of the induction system. There are so many little hoses and pipes. Stupidly, I didn't label them because I thought, well, it's obvious. Well, you know, 6 months, if not more, and it's not that obvious, but I'm getting there. The Rally Mini. Yeah, I'm still welding up the driver's side rear arch. It's almost there, but I don't want to bore you with that because I need your help. Let's turn the lights on. Do you remember that really cool engine mount that I got off my mate Nick Mortar last week? I've got an issue. There it is. Nice, eh? Now, of course, this is a modified car, so things don't always go to plan. I'm gonna have to get a torch. Where's my torch? This is like every episode I'm looking for something. That means that I'm not organised enough. Where's the LED torch? There it is. In there, look. I've got to talk about this in a minute. But first, so these are the two bolts that the normal bracket would go on. It goes on something like that. But you probably can't see it, but look how high that is, look. Two things. A, it's too high. And B, it's too far forward. So I've wound it in as far as it'll go, because it's that thread is pretty much bottoming out, or about to bottom out on that hole there. And obviously got a locking nut. But it definitely needs to go that way more. You know, I can rock the engine so far. and it's too high. So, you know, this is a 1969 Mini, so it was designed for the 850. So is there any difference in height blocks between those sort of cars? I've taken the Ultimate Engine Steady off this side so that I could, you know, so that I can rock the engine forward and backwards. But this is basically where it wants to sit, you know, with no mounts on it. It's in its place that it wants to be. So yeah, I mean, luckily where it's got a bush on that end.
Excuse us, are you the singing bush? Yeah, ho, blow the man down. Yeah, ho, blow.
I could push it down, look, there's enough room for it to go down, but it puts a little bit of extra stress on the bush, I suppose. But there is this forward and backwards issue. I mean, I could, you know, I could take that locking nut off, that's not a problem. I could even file off a bit off here, you know, cut that bit off, make that thinner, and shorten the length of the rod so that it goes in a bit further. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this bit, this is lovely. But obviously what I don't want to do is modify it if it doesn't need modifying and I've just done something stupid and I don't realise what I've done. This is the one that came off. Yeah, that's not good for anything, is it? But if you look at this, this is slightly bent down so that, you know, it does drop down to the thing. And when I laid them out side by side on the table, I did notice there was a length difference, but anyway, come on, let me know. I'd say I don't want to modify it if I don't need to. I can always put it on another car. It's not a problem. And in fact, I could just rebush this one, put it on, and job's done, isn't it? Are you ready for an unboxing?
What's in the box?
Yeah, I haven't done one of these for a while, have I? How am I going to do this? A few episodes ago, I mentioned that I was selling the GoPros out of the car. Now, I had a really amazing setup from Wired Remote. Basically, it had two GoPros. They were connected together. They were permanently 12 volt charged off the car, so there was never any flat battery issues. They also had a wired in button, so you press the button once, both GoPros would turn on and then instantly start recording, which was great. And then when you finish, you just press the button once, it would stop the GoPros from recording and turn them off. Absolutely amazing. However, over time, I ended up wanting different camera angles. And believe it or not, I had 5 GoPros in there. One here behind the windscreen. I had one looking at capturing there, one looking at me here, one on the roll cage behind looking forwards, and one looking out the back window. And it was just too much. I never knew which GoPro to turn on to capture whatever action I wanted to capture. And also, editing that was just a nightmare. So I've ditched it all and gone for a 2 camera setup. One that's just going to look through the windscreen, and a 360 camera to capture all the chatting and the interaction with marshals and things like that. So I sold it. It's funded this lot. Now, I've had this in my inbox since I was considering doing the summer refit. And because I'm changing the setup in the back with the fuel tank, it was time to change all this as well. So the first thing that I went for was a different type of facet fuel pump. Whew. It's quite bigger, a lot bigger than the one I was using before. Silver top, maybe, gold top, silver top, gold, says on it. Even though it's not gold, it's called a gold.
I love gold.
So it's just a lot of rally cars use these. So the beauty of this is the chances of, if this fails, there's a chance that somebody else has got a spare on them. So it's very simple. There's an in, there's an out. I guess that's your positive feed. And earth, there we go. Negative goes to the chassis because that's actually welded to it. The beauty of it is, I don't know if I'm going to do it, I'm not going to do it, but in the base there's a pre-filter. So, you know, you can actually change that and that'll capture the worst of the crap. That's the one upgrade that I'm changing there. The rally setup here, I've been using AN fittings for everything. And of course, that means that I need AN fittings for this new setup. And where I'm going over to twin tanks, I need some extra bits. So this is quite nice. So this will be the in. So it'll be from one tank, one will go to the left tank, one will go to the right tank. That's going to go in there. And this is the one that's going to go in the top. Like that. Now between this and the fuel tank, I decided to go for a massive upgrade and go for dry brake connectors. I know. Oh, that's nice. AN6 dry brake fuel line connectors. I've got two because obviously I'm going for two tanks. Even with a standard fuel tank, those that with the classic Mini is where the pickup comes out the bottom. And if you ever want to take that fuel tank out while there's a bit of fuel in it, oh, it's an absolute nightmare. You're going to end up with fuel pouring everywhere because you've got to, you're going to have to use clamps and all sorts of things. Clamps work well if you're not using the type of hose that you use with an AN fitting. They are, not only are they braided for protection, they're Teflon lined as well, and then they have a black protective sleeve over the top of that. So genuinely, you know, with those hose clamp things, you cannot clamp them. So yeah, you'd have to undo the AN fitting, fuel's pouring everywhere, either out of the tank or out of the hose that it was connected to, and then somehow you've got to bung them all up. So yeah, so the idea of these are you simply just go ha-ha like that. You've got dry fitting, it stops the fuel coming out on both ends. Now you can remove the tank to do whatever, you know, maintenance that you need to do. You don't have to worry about fuel leaking everywhere. And then you just push them together again. They open up and they're connected. Beautiful. The last piece of the puzzle is fuel filter. I've gone for black. I like the subtle look. But this time I've gone for one that I can actually put AN fittings in there as well. So that's the main fuel filter and the pressure regulator on the top. But of course now it's got AN6 fittings. Well, there we go. I'm chuffed to bits with that. And the good news is it was all funded by selling stuff that I had in the first place, which I decided that I didn't need. So, whoopee! Monty the Mark 1. Yeah, I finally got round to sorting out that sloppy bush on the Mark 1. Remember I was saying about the bottom arm was a bit floppy, and I'm not surprised. Obviously at some point there's been an oil leak in the engine, or there still is an oil leak, and that's probably contributed to that bush completely deteriorating. Anyway, I cleaned it all up, which is going to help me sort out where that oil leak's coming from. Replaced the bush. Luckily I had some bottom arm bushes in stock, and they were kindly donated by one of our supporters in a big box of mini spares that they gave to us at the West Country Mini Owners Club event when they came over. You know who you are, and thank you so much. I'm still using those parts, obviously. I stuck them in there, which was great. While the arm was off, I decided to give it a clean up and a coat of paint, but check out this retro modification from whenever, the 60s quite possibly. Back in the day when you couldn't easily get longer bottom arms or adjustable bottom arms, what people used to do is literally cut the arm in half, add a fillet strip and then brace it and weld it all up so you've got a little bit more negative camber. I mean, this is straight out of the David Vizard How to Modify Your Mini book. Whoever owned the Mark 1 Mini before I did obviously read and consumed everything in that book, because that Mini has so many Vizard modifications on it. The annoying thing is I noticed the track rod arm, the rubber boot on that, had completely perished. The reason it's annoying, because I only replaced that track rod end, I don't know, doesn't seem that long ago. You can see by the colour and the colour of the grease inside it. It's good, it's fine. Again, out of that box of bits, there was a track rod in there, so I carefully measured the distance from the arm to the boot, unwound it, wound the new one into that, clamped it up, which is great, but it has become apparent almost straight away that I do need to do the tracking on it. I'm not going to do it just yet. I'm going to have a look at the other side of the car, because if one side's shot, the other side is bound to be, isn't it? So let's sort both sides out, make sure they're all good to go, and then I'll do the tracking. Future events.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50 downhill, triple caution, stay center, triple caution. Caution, stay center.
Yeah, Glenn and myself have entered another navigation rally. This time it's organised by the Tavern Motor Club of Bristol. It has a class for hero members, so we're all good to enter. But just like many of the stage rallies, it's an absolute bun fight to get your entry in as quick as possible before the event fills up. We were just that little bit too slow that even though we entered, we're not in. There's a maximum of 75 cars allowed to enter, and we entered as car 76. It does mean we're the first car on the reserve list, which is good. Maybe someone will drop out, maybe they won't. We'll just have to see what happens. Bin juice. Bin juice is where I try and fund the petrol for our motorsport by selling stuff that I find in the bin. What have I found and sold this week? A load of chain, boat anchor chain. I think it was 20 meters, something like that. So I laid it out on the floor, took a photo, put it on Facebook, advertised it for 20 quid, and within half an hour someone said, I'll have it. So cha-ching, that's 20 quid in the petrol fund for our next motorsport event. Tool of the week. Yes. Where's it gone? Still in the car, isn't it? It's my Brawn light. Now, I didn't buy this. This was gifted to me by my mate, Randy from Texas. I haven't seen him do an update on YouTube for a while, but Randy he's a bit of a Mini fan. He was restoring a Mini at home. He does an amazing job. He came over to the IMM 20. Which was the Bristol one. What year was that? Anyway, he came over and he plied us all with gifts, which was great. And one of them was this. It's basically, you can just charge it up. It's got a magnet on the bottom. You can bend it wherever you want. It did have, obviously it's got a light there at different levels, but it did have a light on the top, but that's worn out. I've basically destroyed it. But this, no word of a lie, I use this pretty much every day. I use it for welding, for working on the cars, all sorts of things, going out to the garages in the dark, and it has never let me down. It's just a fantastic bit of kit. I don't know if you can buy them in the UK. I say he brought them over from Texas. Randy, you're a legend. I'd love to see an update on your Mini. Alfie update. Still here then, Charlie. Oh yeah. Does Alfie come round in the mornings? Not lately. Well, I'll wait here just in case then. He might be waiting a while. I don't mind. You do like a lot of attention. Yeah, you do. Dilemma. Anyway, leave it with me. And what are you going to do, mate? Well, I'm going to wait for Alfie. Well, you can't wait for him in here. Got to go work. Okay.
Moments later.
Hey, look at you two hanging out. Alfie, Charlie. Go away. He was in this workshop literally as I was setting up the camera, so you just missed him just now.
Go back to then.
When?
Now.
Now?
Now.
I can't.
Why?
We missed it.
When?
Just now.
Right, that's it. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate your support, and I will see you next week. Ta-ta for now. Here's my arse. Cheers, mate.